Today I am going to show you how to make this hat that was designed by Christel in France. Please don't ask me to pronounce her last name because I'm sure I would get it completely wrong. But the lovely thing about this hat is that it incorporates several different stitches throughout the hat. Sorry, my foam head is a little bit small for the hat, but it does fit an adult. It's got a fold-up brim, and it's got several different stitches. Like I said, we've got pearl and E-wrap, and then this great, it's a modified figure 8 stitch that kind of makes it look like connected I-cords. And then up here we have a double stitch, which is where you have 3 wraps on each peg, and you knit 1 over 2, and then we do another set of the modified figure 8, and then we finish it off with Jeannie Phillips flat drawstring bind off, and which she did a wonderful job on creating this, and I think everybody absolutely loves it, and it gives a nice finish to practically all of your drawstring hats. And so let's get started. Okay, for this hat we are going to need 68 pegs of the small gauge in the Martha Stewart loom. So that would be the 2 half semicircles and 2 of the 6 hole straight pieces with the small pegs in every hole. You can see where I've got little bits of yarn stuck in my keep my pegs in place. Or you can also do this, because this is a 3/8 inch gauge on both the all-in-one and also on the Martha Stewart. You can also do it on your you can also do it on the all-in-one loom as well, set to 68 pegs. Now then, we're going to make our slip knot. Different people make them in different ways. I have a weird way that I do my slip knot, and I have used a different color peg for my starting peg. So my ending peg is going to be, don't ask me why, I will be working counterclockwise. There's no rhyme or reason as to why I chose that way. You can work clockwise if you want to. It doesn't matter, but I'm going to put my slip knot on this peg right here. I'm going to use it as my anchor. And we are going to do an E-wrap cast on all the way around the loom. Now then, when we get back around to this peg, we're just kind of going to ignore that for the moment. So go ahead and cast on your loom. Okay, so here I am. I've got my E-wrap cast on done around to this peg here, and then we are going to go ahead and our 14 rows of E-wrap. So our first row then, there are 2 different ways for E-wrap cast-ons. It depends on whoever's writing the pattern, but this pattern, you just wrap the pegs one time. That's your cast on, and then this first time that we're going to be wrapping around and knitting over is going to be our row 1. So go ahead and wrap again, and then I will deal with that slip knot that's on the anchor peg and show y'all how to deal with that in just a second. Okay, now then, I have completely wrapped around one time. Now you'll see we've got 2 wraps on every peg except for this one. But, whoops, bumped my head to get my handy dandy loom tool. So what we're going to do first is we're going to take, oops, get it back in frame. Okay, I can do this. We're going to take the second one. This is on our last peg, and this is our first peg. So we're going to take it, and we're going to knit it over, which will secure that. But in order to secure where our slip knot is, we need to go ahead and knit over on our first peg as well. Then you can take the loop off of that last peg, take your slip knot off, and then put that loop back on. And then your slip knot's taken off, and you don't have that slip knot in your work. Of course, some people that won't matter, and then you'll just knit off, and then you will do 14 rounds of E-wrap, because all of the knit stitches in this pattern are E-wrap. So go ahead and you do 14 rounds. Now then, since I haven't mentioned it already, the yarn I am using in this demonstration is Burnett Mosaic. One of my favorite yarns, Burnett Mosaic. And this particular color is Mosaic. So, get a little bit of repetitiveness there, but it is Burnett Mosaic in the color Mosaic. So 14 rounds of E-wrap for our brim. And then we will meet back up and I will show you how to, in case you don't know how to do a fold-up brim, we will show you how to lift up your cast-on edge to do your brim. Okay, I just finished my 14 rows of knit, and now if you are unsure of how to make your brim, all you have to do is lift up your cast-on edge and put the loops back on. Now, if you're wondering what's funky going on right over here, it will loosen out. Yours may not do that. It does this to me every time I do E-wrap, because this is right about where, because I always start my knitting over on this peg and then go around like I wrap, and I always end up with this. This one stitch on this peg is always tighter. So, in case you're looking at that going, oh, what on earth has she done? Yeah, but it always works out. So, just make sure that you find your the stitch that's on your beginning peg. Run it down till you find that loop. And it should be the second one over because of my little whoopsies. And you find your loop, you bring it up on the inside, and you put it back on, because with an E-wrap cast on you always have your loops at the bottom, which is what makes it so incredibly loose. So you will just put that loop back on each one. If you need to on that first one, go ahead and pull that stitch tight, because you still have your working yarn, and then you just put each loop on each peg all the way around. So we will do that, and I will meet back up with you. Okay, now we have 2 loops again on every peg from where we brought this up. All you will do is you will just go ahead and knit that over, just like you've done an E-wrap. And so go ahead and just knit that over. Now we've got that knit over. Now all we're going to do is do 2 rounds of knit, E-wrap knit. Okay, I just finished with my 2 rows of knit, and now we will do 5 rounds of purl. So, if you're not sure how to do a purl stitch, just there's videos online that you can go to and to help you out. So 5 rounds of purl, and then I will meet back up with you. Okay, I have just finished my 5 rows of purl, and now we will have 2 more rows of knit, E-wrap of course. All of the knit stitches in this pattern are E-wrap. So do 2 more rows of E-wrap. It'll help make the purl sections pop out, and I will meet back up with you for the section of the modified figure 8.